And as I was thinking about the call of Christ to relate with him, I found a poem in my computer that I think summarizes what Jesus expects of us. And at the end of it, we are like to make a decision where we stand. Cornelius and Cyprian made their decision that they were standing with Christ. We want to make our own, because we do not only want to always be reading stories of other saints. Can't our story be read tomorrow? And if they became saints and they were human beings who walked on their feet like us, why would they become saints and not you and not me? The title of the poem is that this Jesus challenges me. When I am furious, he tells me forgive. When I am afraid, he tells me take courage. When I have doubt, he says have confidence. When I feel restless, he says be calm. I prefer to go my own way, he tells me come and follow me. I make my own plans, and he says forget about them. I aim towards material goods, and he says leave them behind. I want security, and he says I promise you absolutely nothing. I like to live my own life, but he says lose your life. I believe I'm good, and he says good is not sufficient. I like to be the boss, he says serve. I like to command others, he says obey. I like to understand, he says believe. I like clarity, he speaks to me in parables. I like poetry, he speaks in realities. I like tranquility, and he likes me to be disturbed. I like violence, and he says peace be with you. I draw my sword, and he says put that away. I think of revenge, and he says offer the other cheek. I speak of order, and he says I have come to bring the sword. I choose hatred, he says love your enemies. I try to sow harmony, but he says I have come to cast fire on earth. I like to be the greatest, he says learn to be as small as a child. I like to remain hidden, and he says let your light shine. I look for the best places, and he says sit on the last bench. I like to be noticed, and he says pray in your room behind locked doors. No, I don't understand this Jesus. He provoked me. He confuses me. Like so many of his disciples, I too would like to follow another master who would be more certain and less demanding. But I experience almost the same as Peter. I do not know of anyone else who has the words of eternal life. So, I choose to stick with him no matter what. What is your choice?